President Tinubu welcomes Qatari investors' move to explore agricultural opportunities, assures of strategic partnerships. First flight of Nigerian pilgrims arrives Saudi Arabia for this year's Hajj, as Nakhon registers more than 40,000 Nigerian pilgrims to perform the pilgrimage. An information minister wants Nigerians to use social media for unifying and promoting values and harps on engendering countries' developments. Hello and welcome to the news desk at 3 on NTA News 24. We're live in Abuja. I am Dennis Adigunloye. President Bola Tinubu has welcomed new initiatives by Qatari investors to explore opportunities in the agriculture sector and assures that Nigeria remains open to strategic partnerships. The president gave the assurance when he received a special envoy from the Emir of the State of Qatar, led by Qatar's Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Mohammed bin Abdulaziz Al Khulaifi. In a statement by the Presidential Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, President Tinubu emphasized Nigeria's readiness to build on the momentum generated by his state visit to Qatar in 2024, pledging to implement all bilateral agreements between the two countries. He directed the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tuga, to work together to ensure the timely execution of these agreements. The President acknowledged that the Qatari government had demonstrated maturity and foresight in working for global peace and deserves commendation. President Tinubu said Nigeria's partnership with Qatar can be improved by looking into food sovereignty and economic prosperity. Qatar's minister conveyed the Emir's desire to strengthen the strategic partnership with Nigeria, particularly in peace building, agriculture, and petrochemicals. He expressed pride in the current level of relations and looks forward to expanding both government to government and people to people ties. Meanwhile, Vice President Kashim Shettima wants Nigerians performing the 2025 Hajj to be good ambassadors of the country while observing the all-important Islamic exercise. The advice came at the flag-off of the federal government's inaugural airlift of pilgrims to Saudi Arabia for this year's Hajj. Here is Kingsley Ononiwu's reports.
For the first time in the political history of Imo State, Samambakwe International Cargo Airport, Owerri, is witnessing direct international flight operation of any kind with the inaugural airlift of Nigerian intending pilgrims from the country to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for the 2025 Hajj. Flagging off the inaugural airlift of the intending pilgrims for this year's Hajj, Vice President Kashim Shettima, who represented President Bola Tinubu, urged the intending pilgrims to be good ambassadors of Nigeria in the Holy Land by ensuring that their conducts reflect those values the nation adores.
Treat your assignment as a trust from God. Let us learn from the mistakes of previous exercises and ensure that every pilgrim departs and returns with a heart full of gratitude and a voice free from complaints.
He also commended the Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma for running an all-inclusive government for the residents of the state, irrespective of their religious affiliations. Governor Uzodinma, while thanking President Tinubu for approving the 2025 inaugural flight of the intending pilgrims for the Hajj from Imo State, noted that the state has long stood as a place of religious tolerance and peaceful coexistence.
The only airport built by individual contributions of citizens of this state, that it now serves as a departure point for an international pilgrimage, reflects not just our history, how far we have come.
If we really want to move our country to move forward, we have to respect one another. We have to respect various religious beliefs.
Out of the total number of 64,188 intending pilgrims for the 2025 Hajj, 315 of them from Imo, Abia, Bayelsa states are departing for the Holy Land from the Samumbakwe International Cargo Airport, Owerri.
In the meantime, the first flight of the Nigerian pilgrims has arrived in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for this year's Hajj. Correspondent Jamilu Ibrahim reports that the flight, which has 540 pilgrims as well as 6 Nakhon officials on board, landed safely at the Mohammed bin Abdulaziz International Airport, Medina, at about 4:30 Nigerian time. The pilgrims, who hail from Bauchi State, are in high spirits and full of gratitude to Almighty Allah for the safe flight. 4 other flights that took off simultaneously from Imo, Kebbi, Osun and Niger states have also arrived in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. A total of 40,671 Nigerian pilgrims have been registered by NACON to perform this year's Hajj from the government's quota, as the outbound flights are billed to be completed on or before 24th May 2025. Well, earlier, the first batch of 420 intending pilgrims from Kebbi State for the 2025 Hajj pilgrimage were airlifted from Sir Madu Bello International Airport, bringing Kebbi to Medina, Saudi Arabia. Kebbi State Deputy Governor Umar Abubakar Tafida delivered Governor Nasiri this message to the pilgrims to be good ambassadors of Nigeria while in the Holy Land.
These are the very first of our pilgrims to Saudi Arabia. In fact, it's not only the first flight from Kebbi, it's almost the first flight from Nigeria to Saudi Arabia. So I was good for that, and that's why we're here.
The state Amirul Hajj and Emir of Argungu, Al-Haji Samela Mahamadu Mira, responding on behalf of the pilgrims, promised special prayers for Nigeria and Kebbi State.
They have all their views, they have all their details. We can do back to back.
He explained that Kebbi State is still expecting 8 more flights to convey nearly 4,000 intending pilgrims for this year's exercise. In other news, EasyChain, an Ivorian ICT startup designed for maritime logistics for movement of goods, has won the grand prize of $25,000 at a ceremony to draw the curtain on the ECOWAS Forum for Africa Research and Innovation FARI 2025 in Cotonou, Benin Republic. Calvin Ewonanye reports that startups from Ghana and Benin Republic came second and third respectively.
The jury, made up of eminent scientists and researchers, adjudged EasyChain as most pragmatic, problem-solving, and locally responsive to ordinary users who face challenges in moving and buying agricultural produce across the sub-region. The startup from Ghana, Code Club, has the potential to assist blind people move around effortlessly, while the one from Benin Republic, Antokit, provides instant single-use screening device for precancerous cervical lesions. They were rewarded with $15,000 and $10,000 respectively to support the young innovators to push their products to the next level.
West Africans are connected through seas, which makes it easier. There are other countries like Abidjan, Dakar, Cotonou, Bissau, which does not have connections with us through the sea. Today is just for us to have other options. For West Africans, like Lomé in Togo, Keb in Deseka, Abidjan, Monrovia, and Dakar.
President of the ECOWAS Commission, Aliou Omar Touré, was excited by the level of commitment and zeal among the participants in the stacked-up competition, stressing that the future of West Africa, and indeed Africa, is bright. Ghana was presented with the symbolic key to host the next edition of FARI in 2027, while those who work to ensure the success of the FARI 2025 were recognized for making the sub-region proud. From Cotonou, Benin Republic, Kelvin Ewonwaye, NTA News.
Minister of Information and National Orientation Mohammed Idris wants Nigerians to use social media as a tool for unifying and promoting values that can engender the country's development. The minister was a guest speaker at the 2025 edition of TEDx for Abuja Youth, organized by the Nigeria Tulip International College, Abuja. Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara reports.
At the 2025 edition of the show at this school, the inspiring life experience of Nigeria's Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, on how he successfully nurtured his career at the young age of 16, caught the attention of both the old and the young minds who are aspiring to build a passion.
The birth of the digital world also brought about the birth of the era of great misinformation, fake news, and disinformation. And therefore, that dream of becoming an instant broadcaster at age 16, and now as Nigeria's Minister of Information and National Orientation, I thought that I could use my valuable position to change things. We came about with a set of 5 pillars trying to refine the Nigerian media and information ecosystem, trying to drive away the era of fake news, disinformation, and misinformation.
Now that his dream comes to pass as a media entrepreneur and the chief spokesman of Nigeria, he reassured this younger generation that policies under his watch are those that will promote sanity in the media ecosystem, as evidenced in the UNESCO Category 2 Media and Information Literacy Institute, whose establishment he is supervising in Nigeria.
You need that because in this age, the social media especially can both be a unifier and also an agent of destruction depending on how you use it. We want everyone to use the social media especially, which has come to stay, by the way, as a tool for unifying all of us, for progress, for development of our country and of the world generally, not a tool for destruction.
This year's theme is passion. And the aim is for the driving forces behind great ideas, the courage to pursue them, and the impact of relentless dedication on personal and societal transformation.
TED is an acronym of Technology, Entertainment, and Design, an American-Canadian non-profit media organization that shares educational and inspiring ideas with people worldwide in order to effect positive change in society. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara, NTA News.
This is the news desk at 3 on NTA News 24. More reports after this break.
I therefore call on my colleagues, or media professionals and editors, to be discerning in their reportage. We must deny these groups the undue publicity they crave. We must take them off the front pages and accurately report them as the criminals that they are, without glorifying their acts or giving credence to their false narratives. These, of course, are not freedom fighters. They are murderers, kidnappers, and destroyers, and they must be presented as such.
This is NTA News 24.
Welcome back. The federal government has inaugurated the steering committee for the Sustainable Power and Irrigation for Nigeria SPIN project, aimed at enhancing national food security, water management and climate resilience. Usman Zabiru reports that the project will be implemented under 2 models in collaboration with 5 ministries and interested states.
At $500 million and supported by the World Bank, aims to deliver large-scale multipurpose infrastructure for irrigation and hydropower generation. This project is targeting 500,000 hectares of irrigated land, 30 gigawatts of sustainable energy, and strengthening resilience to floods, droughts, and climate change. Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, who is the co-chair of the steering committee alongside the Minister of Power, said the initiative aligns with the renewed hope agenda of President Tinubu. According to the minister, the SPIN project builds on the success of the Transforming Irrigation Management in Nigeria trimming project, which helped rehabilitate about 32,000 hectares of irrigation schemes and empower water users across the country. And Nigeria is committed to improving its food, water and energy security.
This will help to deliver the large-scale multipurpose infrastructure for irrigation and hydropower components to the revitalization of our rural community economy and realization of Nigeria's long-term development goals.
This will now provide us with an opportunity for our farmers to have all year-round farming.
It has been constituted, and with the support of the leadership of the ministries, I'm sure that they have all the support they need for this project to become very, very successful and implement for the benefit of all Nigerians.
Minister of Power, represented by the Permanent Secretary Mahmoud Mamman, reaffirms Nigerians' commitment to sustainable energy through hydropower, outlining it as key to achieving energy and food security.
To address any challenges that may arise and remove impediments that could hinder progress.
The SPIN project will focus on key components: institutional strengthening, irrigation modernization, dam safety, operational improvements, and effective project management. Usman Zubair, NTA News.
The Accountant General of the Federation, Shamsuddin Ogunjimi, has expressed readiness to ensure the successful passage of the Public Financial Management Bill. Ogunjimi stated this during a meeting with the Director General of the Bureau of Public Service Reforms, BPSR, Dr. Dasuki Arabi, who led a team from the agency on a courtesy visit to the Accountant General of the Federation. The PFM bill was initiated by the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation to give legal backing to the public finance management reform initiatives of the federal government and the operations of the Treasury of the Federation. While speaking with the BPSR boss, Ogunjimi promised to give priority to positive reforms that will reposition the Treasury of the Federation for more efficient performance, promising to work closely with the agency to drive Treasury reforms and improve public financial management in Nigeria. The Director General of the Bureau of Public Service Reforms suggested that a committee be set up to address the outstanding entitlements of government employees that were disengaged from service during the 2006 right-sizing exercise. Elsewhere, the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, NELFund, has called on student leaders across tertiary institutions to take ownership of the newly introduced interest-free education loan scheme. Speaking during a stakeholders engagement session and technical workshop on NELFund system automation and loan application processes in Abuja, the Executive Director of Operations, Iyal Mustafa, encouraged student leaders to champion the initiative on their campuses. He cautions tertiary institutions against delays in processing students' applications, noting that once applications are verified, they are forwarded to institutions for confirmation, a step that has in some cases caused disbursement delays due to slow responses. Mustafa reiterates that the NELFund scheme was designed to reduce student dropout rates caused by financial hardship.
Getting upkeep and shouting, oh, NELFund has not paid for our institutional charges. Meanwhile, we know we have sent money to the institution. So what we're trying to do is to enlighten them. Anyone that have gotten upkeep it's important to know that his institutional charges has been paid to the institutions already.
President of the National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS Olushola Oladoja, warns institutions and individuals allegedly sabotaging federal government student loans program. Addressing reports of delay and non-compliance, Oladoja reveals that NANS had constituted a 5-member investigative committee to probe concerns surrounding loan disbursement and institutional accountability.
With courage, clarity, and responsibility.
Despite the concerns, the student body commended the loan scheme for its transparency, inclusivity, and commitment to accountability. Now, improving maternal and child healthcare delivery systems in all nooks and crannies of the country will continue to be one of the top priorities of the office of the First Lady. Wife of Nigeria's President Oluremi Tinubu gave the assurance in a message at the inauguration of a 100-bed mother and child center named after her at the Omama General Hospital in Oru East local government area of Imo State. Here is Kingsley Hononuyu's report.
The 100-bed Senator Oluremi Tinubu Mother and Child Center, equipped with the state-of-the-art facilities at Awomama General Hospital in Oru East local government area of Imo State, was built by the Office of the President on Sustainable Development Goals under the initiative of President Ahmed Bola Tinubu. Inaugurating the healthcare center, wife of the President, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, represented by the wife of the Vice President, Hajiya Nana Shetima, assured that her office will continue to work round the clock towards improving the maternal and child care delivery system in the country.
The mission of this center symbolizes a renewed hope for our communities, in line with the commitment of His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, to quality health service delivery in order to accelerate the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals in Nigeria.
A growing list of federal government intervention under the Renewed Hope agenda and stands as a clear demonstration of focused and inclusive leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu believes that no woman should die or no child should die when giving birth.
Senator Oluremi Tinubu Mother and Child Center is a health facility designated specifically for the benefit of women and children in Imo State.
Nigeria has reaffirmed its recognition of the People's Republic of China as the sole legitimate government representing the entire Chinese territory. This reaffirmation came at a forum organized by the Chinese Chamber of Commerce in Abuja, where participants urged media professionals and the public to recognize Taiwan as an inseparable part of China. Suleiman Abdul Wahab reports.
In the media, Nigeria has broken diplomatic cooperation with Taiwan. It never existed.
At the heart of Beijing's foreign policy is a clear position. There is only one China. Reinforcing this stance in Nigeria, Chinese political chief Xu Songbo, along with scholars in diplomacy and global affairs, stressed that Taiwan remains an undivided part of Chinese territorial integrity. They encouraged Nigerian institutions, including media, to align with this position in the interest of peaceful diplomacy and mutual respect between nations.
On February the 10th, 1971, the People's Republic of China and the Federal Republic of Nigeria established diplomatic relations and issued a joint communique between the two countries stating that the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria recognizes the government of the People's Republic of China as the sole legal government representing the whole of the Chinese people.
Nigeria has continued to uphold the one China principle because
it respects the territorial integrity of the People's Republic of China.
Speakers at the forum also emphasized the thriving economic partnership between Nigeria and China. They pointed to infrastructure projects, trade agreements, and investment opportunities.
We have to project Nigeria's foreign policy. We have to project our One China principle.
A joint statement released after the forum reaffirmed commitment to the One China policy as endorsed by the United Nations and called on African nations to maintain united diplomatic fronts.
Many countries, including Nigeria, including the almighty United States, adhere to the One China policy.
The China Chamber of Commerce concluded that upholding this policy not only promotes global stability but also solidifies the bonds of China-African relations. In Abuja, Suleiman Tobu Abdul-Wahab, NT News.
Meanwhile, the Chinese embassy has responded to media reports regarding the Athletics Federation of Nigeria's withdrawal from the World Athletics Relays in Guangzhou, China, citing alleged visa delays. The embassy said it received a formal request from Nigeria's National Sports Commission on April 24th, based on a letter dated April 22nd, seeking assistance with athlete visa processing. The embassy promptly engaged the commission and guided the preparation of necessary documents. Visa applications were submitted to the China Visa Application Center on May 6th, and expedited processing was completed by May 8th. The embassy emphasized its consistent support for sports and cultural cooperation with Nigeria and its commitment to providing efficient visa services. It also noted that visa issuance is a matter of national sovereignty and requires appropriate documentation and processing time. While regretting the athletes' inability to attend the event, the embassy stated that the AFN's claims do not align with the actual timeline of facts. China remains committed to strengthening bilateral ties and supporting Nigerian participation in future international events. Well, that concludes the news desk at 3 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Dennis Adigunloye.